Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. A great many people think they are thinking, when they are merely rearranging their prejudices. We are like islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep. The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human can alter his life by altering his attitude. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. Seek out that particular mental attribute which makes you feel most deeply and vitally alive, along with which comes the inner voice which says, "This is the real me." And when you have found that attitude, follow it. Whenever two people meet, there are really 6 people present. There is each man as he sees himself, each man as the other person sees him, and each man as he really is. The great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. Whenever you're in conflict with someone, there is one factor that can make the difference between damaging your relationship and deepening it. That factor is attitude. I am done with great things and big things, great institutions and big success, and I am for those tiny, invisible molecular moral forces that work from individual to individual, creeping through the crannies of the world like so many rootlets, or like the capillary oozing of water, yet which, if you give them time, will rend the hardest monuments of man's pride. To perceive the world differently, we must be willing to change our belief system, let the past slip away, expand our sense of now, and dissolve the fear in our minds. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Anything you may hold firmly in your imagination can be yours. Our view of the world is truly shaped by what we decide to hear. Good humor is a philosophic state of mind. It seems to say to nature that we take her no more seriously than she takes us. I maintain that one should always talk of philosophy with a smile. If you can change your mind, you can change your life. If you believe that feeling bad or worrying long enough will change a past or future event, then you are residing on another planet with a different reality system. Wherever you are, it is your friends who make your world. We may be in the universe as dogs and cats are in our libraries, seeing the books and hearing the conversation, but having no inkling of the meaning of it all. There are no differences, but differences of degree, between different degrees of difference, and no difference. Human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. Human beings are born into this little span of life, of which the best thing is its friendships and intimacies. And yet, they leave their friendships and intimacies with no cultivation, to grow as they will by the roadside, expecting them to keep, by force of mere inertia. Procrastination is attitude's natural assassin. There's nothing so fatiguing as an uncompleted task. My experience is what I agree to attend to. Beyond the very extremity of fatigue distress, amounts of ease and power that we never dreamed ourselves to own, sources of strength habitually not taxed at all, because habitually we never push through the obstruction. A great nation is not saved by wars. It is saved by acts without external picturesqueness, by speaking, writing, voting reasonably, by smiting corruption swiftly, by good temper between parties, by the people knowing true men when they see them and preferring them as leaders to rabid partisans and empty quacks. Genius, in truth, means little more than the faculty of perceiving in an unhabitual way. If any organism fails to fulfill its potentialities, it becomes sick. Action seems to follow feeling, but really, actions and feeling go together. And by regulating the action, which is under the more direct control of the will, we can indirectly regulate the feeling, which is not. Thus the sovereign voluntary path to cheerfulness, if our cheerfulness be lost, is to sit up cheerfully, and to act and speak as if cheerfulness were already there. Do every day or two something for no other reason that you would rather not do it, so that when the hour of dire need draws nigh, it may find you not unnerved and untrained to stand the test. We forget that every good that is worth possessing must be paid for in strokes of daily effort. We postpone and postpone until those smiling possibilities are dead. By neglecting the necessary concrete labor, by sparing ourselves the little daily tax, we are positively digging the graves of our higher possibilities. We have grown literally afraid to be poor. We despise anyone who elects to be poor in order to simplify and save his inner life. If he does not join the general scramble and pant with the money-making street, we deem him spiritless and lacking in ambition. Science, like life, feeds on its own decay. New facts burst old rules. Then newly divined conceptions bind old and new together into a reconciling law. There is no more miserable human being than one in whom nothing is habitual but indecision. Philosophy is an unusually stubborn attempt to think clearly. Belief creates the actual fact. It is a common habit to blame life upon the environment. Environment modifies life, but does not govern life. The soul is stronger than its surroundings. When a thing is new, people say, it is not true. Later, when its truth becomes obvious, they say, it is not important. Finally, when its importance cannot be denied, they say, anyway, it is not new. A sense of humor is just common sense dancing. When you have to make a choice and don't make it, that is in itself a choice. The union of the mathematician with the poet, fervor with measure, passion with correctness, this surely is the ideal. The strenuous life tastes better. If you wish to upset the law that all crows are black, you mustn't seek to show that no crows are. It is enough if you prove one single crow to be white. We have to live today by what truth we can get today and be ready tomorrow to call it falsehood. A man has as many social selves as there are distinct groups of persons about whose opinion he cares. He generally shows a different side of himself to each of these different groups. It would probably astound each of us beyond measure to be let into his neighbor's mind and to find how different the scenery was there from that of his own. Age is a very high price to pay for maturity. I don't sing because I'm happy. I'm happy because I sing. Your hopes, dreams, and aspirations are legitimate. They are trying to take you airborne, above the clouds, above the storms, if you only let them. A man with no philosophy in him is the most inauspicious and unprofitable of all possible social mates. Each of us literally chooses, by his way of attending to things, what sort of universe he shall appear to himself to inhabit. Whilst part of what we perceive comes through our senses from the object before us, another part, and it may be the larger part, always comes out of our own mind. Philosophy, beginning in wonder, as Plato and Aristotle said, is able to fancy everything different from what it is. It sees the familiar as if it were strange, and the strange as if it were familiar. It can take things up and lay them down again. It rouses us from our native dogmatic slumber and breaks up our caked prejudices. Selection is the very keel on which our mental ship is built. And in this case of memory, its utility is obvious. If we remembered everything, we should on most occasions be as ill off as if we remembered nothing. Philosophy lives in words, but truth and fact well up into our lives in ways that exceed verbal formulation. All our life, so far as it has definite form, is but a mass of habits. None of us are ever who we were yesterday. Begin to be now what you will be hereafter.